The reason I've sort of given you the wider picture there is because I now want to talk about a number of specific cases that we've come across in a 10-day period. And I don't want you to get the impression that what happened over a 10-day period or 12-day period between the 28th of August and the 9th of September was unusual. This is basically what happens every day of the year, 365 and a half days, especially here in Dublin Airport. And we had 9 specific drug seizures between the 28th of August and I think it was the 9th of September. Of those 9, 5 of those were cocaine. And there was 5 individuals smuggling cocaine from Brazil. 4 of them came through Lisbon and 1 came through Charles de Gaulle. In the same period, we had 4 significant seizures of cannabis, and those 4 came from Thailand. The cocaine was ingested. So, as you can see, I think there's some examples of the product over here on my left. So there's, generally speaking, on average, you're talking about an individual concealing internally up to 100 pellets. Now that obviously all has to come out, and I don't know why somebody wants to sniff it, but it's a very serious problem. And it's a very serious problem because we're not only just interested in the drugs. Once we interact with a passenger and we believe, and there's an indication that there is drugs on board, then we have to be very careful about the health and safety of that individual. And that's paramount to us. So in parallel with doing our work on the enforcement side, we also have to make sure that once a passenger has engaged with us and there is drugs there, then that we take care of the health and safety of the individual. If you look at Asia and you look at Thailand and you look at the experience of Thailand in the last couple of days, in Thailand there's been legislative, changes which has resulted in the legalisation of drugs, of cannabis in those areas. So people are going to take advantage when there's a greater, availability of drugs. People are going to take advantage of that availability and try to bring them in here. We see east-west movement as well as west-east movement. If you have a look at the states and you have a look at the states within the United States that have legalised cannabis, we have seen a very significant increase in our seizures relating to passengers from those countries as well.
Like most of these people coming in, they're very vulnerable people in relation to it. They're in difficulties in their own society, and they're getting these, what they believe is opportunity to import drugs. And as we've already said, we make sure that there is hospitalisation. We have protocols and agreements in place with hospitals in the DMR North, in particularly in Beaumont Hospital. They're very excellent staff to facilitate An Garda Síochána and making sure that these people have the absolutely highest medication and looked after in relation to their health and safety. We have no incidents that have occurred in this period of time that has caused any risk to these people, and all these people have been brought then to custody in relation to these matters. What we have seen, and as Mick had previously mentioned, in relation to, we can see up to 100, maybe sometimes 120 pellets in relation in ingested into these persons. It can vary from time to time, the size of the pellets and everything like that. On average, the value within a person could vary from 70,000 to 100,000. They can receive anything approximately €1,000 up to €3,000. Very small sums in relation to, but a lot of money for them from where they're coming from in relation to it. And that's the indication they have given us.